Hello you lot, how you all doing? I've been thoroughly looking, well I've been looking at all the comments, I was looking forward to them anyway, on the last video on this Kyosho. Whenever I know I'm going to be putting out a nonsense, pointless video, I always look forward to the comments, because there's a mixture of some people that take things too seriously, and there's some people that have got a good sense of humour and they get the point. That video weren't supposed to be a nonsense video. It's supposed to be just a bit of fun, taking that car out for a first ever test drive. But I genuinely forgot the glow starter because it was on charge on that plug there, and it was there on charge, and I picked the car up and everything and went and left it there, and I didn't realise. But yeah, there we go. Once I realised I'd forgotten that, and it was just going to be one of those videos which is just complete nonsense, I thought this is going to be good. So I've had a mixture of good comments, useful comments, interesting comments, but let's actually get this running. Let's get it running properly, shall we? So I haven't actually got a tripod with me. I think all the tripods are, where are all the tripods? Don't know, I think they're indoors or somewhere. But anyway, we'll get this going. There was an interesting comment, because to start with, it was running, it was driving backwards, and there's been some conspiracy or speculation, not conspiracy, sorry, speculation, whether the engine was running backwards itself or whether what was going on. These nitro engines, they can run backwards. Well, I've usually found it quite difficult to get it to run backwards. To get any nitro engine to run backwards, you have to kind of do it in a funny way, and I've never really mastered it. There's people out there that can do it straight away. Of course, you can just spin the engine backwards, of course you can. But I wasn't spinning the engine backwards. You can start it in the right way, but what happens is when it fires, it might fire, but then it pushes the piston back round the other way, and then it'll run in the opposite direction. That may well have been, and probably was, what was happening. Of course, you can just spin the engine backwards anyway, and but it doesn't matter. So whether it was doing that or whether what wasn't happening, we do know for a fact that it needs a bit of a tune. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this cover off. I can get to that. That looks very lean to me. Look how far that is in that needle, and if I remember correctly, I don't think this engine had a low speed needle, did it? No, it doesn't. So we've only got one needle, and it does high and low speed. So that is lean, because if you remember, when I tuned it in the summer, I tuned it for summer weather, and I didn't tune it for winter weather. So there we go. Reminds me, the second time I forgot the screwdriver, didn't I? So I come all the way in here, got out my screwdriver, which is this one, put it down there, and then for whatever reason, kids wanted lollies, bits and bobs, and then when I went, left it there like that. Completely forgot all about it. So don't need that one now though. Actually funny, because I've been on holiday. That video went live while I was on holiday, and I've been on holiday reading all the comments and chuckling to myself a little bit. I just find it funny. So all the good comments, all the serious comments, but to me, RC cars like this, it's just fun. I don't care whether it starts up and runs or whether it doesn't. I take it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. It's a hobby. I don't take it seriously. So there we go. Anyway, let's get the starter box out. Let's get some batteries that actually do work in the starter box, and yeah, get it running properly. Right, so like I said, I ain't got a tripod with me today, but I've got this. I've got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery as well, and I've also got some lipos I can try. But let's try this 1800 and see what happens. The ones that are in it and supposed to be in it are 3000. The one that came with it was a 3300, but that's added. So let's try this 1800. It's still the right amount of voltage. Whether it'll have enough oomph in it, I don't know. It might have, it might not have. We'll find out. No, it doesn't have enough oomph in that. Let's go and get ourselves. We've got some. I've got a LiPo in here actually. I don't know what percent. Oh, it's cracked. Look, I didn't even know they had a crack in it. Might be able to glue that back together. I don't think the cell itself's had it. I think it's just the casing's cracked. I might have dropped it or something at some point. Might be able to glue that back on there. This was a good battery. Let's see what sort of power it's got in it. So we've got the battery checker here. Let's see what charge it's at. So it's at 32%, 33%. Okay, got water in there. I'll stick a bit of water in there in a minute. Little minion wants some water in his water pistol. Alright, let's put this together. Let's see what sort of power we got now. Still ain't got a great deal of power, have we? Why haven't we got a great deal of power? Let's go and get a different battery. Right, so I've got the 5300 milliamp hour battery now. Let's see what this one does. 7.2 volts. That LiPo one, wherever it's gone, that was 7.4 volts, and it was a 3000 milliamp. So let's stick this one in. If this one ain't got enough, I don't know what we'll have. Right, that one should have enough. That one should have enough power now. We should be able to turn this over fairly comfortably now. Right, there we go. Let's set this camera up a bit better. Right, so you lot now, you're sitting on top of an old Mamod steam engine. But it's the only way I could get it so that you could see what was going on. So let's turn the transmitter on. And let's turn on the receiver. And we should be able to get this. If I turn it that way, you can see what's going on then, can't you? We've still got plenty of fuel in there. Yep, we've still got about half a tank of fuel. Nearly went then. You've run out of water already, have you? Yeah. 2 seconds, got to put more water in the water pistol. Right, back again. Right, so we nearly had it running and I've made it a little bit leaner now. It sounded a little bit rich, didn't it? That sounds a bit better, doesn't it? Oh, stop though, but that sounded a lot better, that did. I've got a big delay on the throttle. I've got them low batteries in there. Really, that indicates that either that glow plug's at it, the fact that when I take this out it don't run, either means the glow plug's at it, need a new glow plug. It could mean it's too rich, so I'll lean it off a little bit. The carb might need cleaning a little bit, might be a bit of a dirty carb. Or it might just need to be warmed up properly. Well, that's been ticking over now. That's been ticking over now for a few minutes. Right. I reckon it needs a jolly good old run, that's what it needs. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, now I've got it running on the bench. By the way, little tip, if you want to use your starter box as like a box to put it on so that the wheels can spin round, you know, turn it round the other way. Because if you've got it that way round, and you know, you start it up, I know it's only supposed to engage on the flywheel when you push down on it, I know that, but sometimes, like with this one for example, this one, it still engages even when it's not pushed down. It still rubs a little bit on it and it can drag the engine down. So if you switch it around that way and put it on there, the flywheel is nowhere near a little starting wheel thing. That's just something I thought I'd mention, little things that I do here and there. And you might think to yourself, why has he just turned that starter box round? Well, that's why I've done it, because I've noticed that this particular one still drags on the wheel a little bit. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, because I haven't really got the means of testing it here, I've got it so it runs. I've got my toolbox in the bag. I've got my glow star. I've got everything I need now in the bag. I know I've got it running, so it runs reasonably well. It's sat there ticking over for a few minutes, no problem whatsoever. So probably going to put some new batteries in the receiver, because the batteries that are in the receiver are very weak. Literally, there's a big delay. It doesn't sound like it now, but when it's running, there's a big delay. You press the throttle, not what happens, and then you let go, and it's still revving, and then it goes down. That might also explain why the servos are weak. You know, when it's revving, the wheels are trying to spin straight, but it's trying to turn, and it just counteracts itself. So I think what I'm going to do, in the next part of this video, well actually I won't, I'll do 2 videos on it because I'm going to be greedy. We'll go and we'll get it running properly out in the park. Well, it won't be in the park, it'll be in the car park again. But yeah, nice, very nice. You know what? This is a cracking little buggy thing, isn't it? Eh? It proper is, man. You know what? A lot of you lot were saying, oh, why don't you get rid of the starter box and put on a pull start and all of that? But I don't really want to, man, because this is the original. Well, I think these came with the starter box originally, but anyway, it's a Kyosho starter box. This is like the original setup, you know. I know this ain't. This is just what that Barry give me. This Dumbo RC transmitter, because that's all he had, I think. But what I'm trying to say is this is the original setup, the car and the starter box, and I've got the original shell as well. So I want to keep it original. This isn't like a car that I want to take out and about very often. What I want to do is I want to get it to a state where it runs well, and then I'm going to like properly clean it up so it's really nice. And then on like summer's days I'll get it out and have a blast with it. That's what I want to do with this, because I also want to try and find the original wheels. I don't know if these are the original wheels. I don't think these ones are. I think those are. If you know your stuff with this, are these the original wheels and rim, you know, wheels and tyres? I know these ones ain't. Anyway, I want to try and get this to a state where it's really nice, clean, nice, tidy little car, because I really like it. I really, really do. I don't want to bash it up and everything, you know. So that's the plan. So yeah, man. And you know me, I don't take it seriously, not even in the slightest. There's not even any hint of seriousness when it comes to these little RC cars whatsoever. As far as that battery goes, I don't know what's happened there. I must have dropped it at some point and it's cracked it, because the cell's not expanded in there. It's not puffed up in any way, so I must have just dropped it. I'll get some super glue and I'll glue that back together like that. Poof, job done. Righto, you lot. I'll catch you on the next one probably. It says on there, look, 8:30. What does 8:30 mean? What's 8:30 mean? Anybody know what that means? By the way, when I'm in focus, I fully appreciate all the comments, every single one, whether you are a very serious person trying to give me some serious advice, or just an ordinary person, a bit flappy, bit wacky, you know. I appreciate every single one. I'm not taking the mickey out of any of you, you know, even the serious lot. I had a crack with some bloke. I'm assuming he was a bloke, could have been a woman. Telling me that I was priming it too much and all that kind of. But you lot know I wind you lot up, and you know, I do like the method of blowing down the tube there to pressurise the tank to push the fuel into the carb. But I often blow down it and listen while I'm there. Stop blowing and listen, because you can hear the fuel going into the carb. That's how I know. Then I stop blowing, and also you can feel the difference in resistance. You know, once you blow through, once it gets to the carb, there's a little bit more resistance on the tube, and then you can stop blowing. That's how you know, man. But I've had more than one person say, you primed it too much, you flooded it, you primed it, you flooded it. And I'm just thinking to myself, ooh, somebody's taking it a bit too seriously. But anyway, she runs well in the end. She runs well in the end. I'm going to keep that battery, charge the other ones up, plenty of starter box batteries, plenty of new batteries in there, and we'll have a little go round the car park in the morning and get her tuned up properly. Catch you later on, you lot. All the best, enjoy yourselves, and yeah, bye for now.